All right. We're live on YouTube too. I'm just getting set up and we're going to do a little meditation today, a little bit of some very light movement, a bit of a yoga flow, very gentle. And mostly I wanted to talk about a Taoist quote. So we're going to start with a Taoist quote today. Hi, Tim. And so if you're new here, if you're on YouTube, or I think everybody who's on right now knows me on Instagram, I'm Sharon Clear. I am a meditation guide, a hypnotist, and a yoga instructor, and I help you clear your mind using alpha theta brainwave training. Okay, so yeah, today we're going to talk about enjoying the journey. And I pulled a little quote for us, so we'll just sort of dive right in. Let me make sure before we do everything, I gotta get a better flow with these lives. There's definitely a method to it that I'm exploring still and have not quite mastered. Are we good on YouTube? I think we are. Okay. So yes, let's hop over to that quote and just sort of dive into our practice. Here we are. Okay. So the quote goes like so. This is from Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching, which is the primary text for Taoism. And if you're unfamiliar, this is where that yin-yang comes from. That yin-yang, the black and white, right? And he says, a good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent upon arriving. So a good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent upon arriving. Okay. A good artist lets his intuition lead him wherever it wants. A good scientist has freed himself of concepts and keeps his mind open to what is, right? Thus, mastery Thus, the master is available to all people. So mastery is available to all people and doesn't reject anyone. So to become a master, it is more about being open, more about enjoying the journey, more about listening to your intuition. He is ready to use all situations and does not waste anything. This is called embodying the light. What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's job? If you don't understand this, you will get lost, however intelligent you are. It is the greatest secret, right? So the reason I wanted to talk about this quote today and start off with this quote here, see if we can get this microphone to stick, is because lately I think that, and just in particular in a sort of capitalistic society, it's very easy, I think, to get stuck on focusing on outcomes, focusing on goal-based orientations, right? And you can't always control the outcome, right? And so if the outcome isn't exactly what we want or what I had planned it, right, then I discard the whole journey, right? And it's very easy to fall into this feeling of, oh, I'm not successful, I'm not X, Y, and Z. But if you take the perspective of just doing the work, right, just enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, and being present, right, then your success is inevitable. So that's what I'm trying to step into, and I hope the same for you, is step away from this idea of, okay, I'm doing X, Y, and Z for blank, right? And stepping into the idea of, okay, how do I, in this present moment, embody what I view as success in my life? How do I, in this present moment, start to live from that perspective? And so, less outcome, more present, right? There's another quote that I couldn't quite find, and so I'm gonna biff it for you, but it's something along the lines of that, a wise man enjoys the work, right? Enjoys the effort that is being put into the job, right? And it's not about that end goal. And meditation is very like this. Meditation and yoga are very much like this, right? Meditation is for the sake of itself, right? You can say, sure, that there's so many benefits, right? But those benefits are not every day, right? When we meditate, it is for the sake of itself. Your journey should be for the sake of itself. If you aren't living now, then when? If you aren't living presently, then when? And so if you have a journal with you, if you have something to write down, we're going to do a few minutes of just journaling, thinking about that quote. I'll read the quote to you again so you can process it as you write. So take a moment to grab a journal if you have not already. Something to write with. Then we'll do a brief little meditation and some movement in the body to start our day off. All right. So let's go back to this quote and kind of digest it just a little bit more. So, a good traveler, and you can start writing at any point, just whatever starts to move you, and you don't have to write on this topic either. This is just some time for you to journal, to get some thoughts out on paper. Set an intention for the day, if you will. Set a focus, a theme. A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent upon arriving. No fixed plans and is not intent upon arriving. So if you can approach your life from this idea of this explorer, right, this traveler, how does that change how you feel internally? How does that change the way you approach your life? A good artist lets his intuition lead him wherever it wants. So I don't know if you are an artist or if you can relate to taking on some sort of creative endeavor, but sometimes it's like you get so caught up in a certain particular image that you're trying to convey that it's easy to get a creative block. But if you just allow yourself to make mistakes, if you allow yourself to be guided through, right, that's all part of the process. and that whatever comes out of that, whatever's birthed out of that, that is freeing. And he says, the good scientist has freed himself of concepts and keeps his mind open to what is. Open to what is. Okay. So, to learn things, to discover things, right? So much of science, we have these preconceived ideas that sometimes block us from entering into new ideas. So if you can keep the mind open, what does that feel like to embody the mindset of an open scientist, right? Forgetting all the ideas, seeing if you can come up with new theories, right? How can you embody that sort of idea in your life? The idea of the traveler with no fixed plans, the idea of an artist who's purely guided by his intuition, the idea of a scientist who has freed himself of concepts and keeps his mind open. This is mastery. This is available to all people, right? It doesn't reject anyone. He is ready to use all situations, right? So if from thinking about, hi Ray, good to see you. So we're reading some Taoist quotes if you're just now joining us, both on YouTube and on Instagram here. So mastery is available to all people who don't reject, right? So people who are open to this present moment. He is ready for all situations, right? So if you are looking for that end outcome, if you're striving for that end outcome, right, then some situations you don't see opportunity. You're closed off to that. It says this is called embodying the light, right? So that's what we're going to try to do in our meditation, is embody this idea of enjoying the present moment, embody this idea of allowing yourself to be guided by intuition, embodying this idea of keeping an open mind and using all situations to your benefit, right? It says, what is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's job? And I've seen this particular phrase translated, differently, and I think I like a different translation better. And I think it goes something more like, what is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's teacher? So it's you're both the teacher. I don't like this. I don't know that it's true to other Taoist texts to say a bad man but a good man's job. I don't know that job is the right translation there. If you want to get nitty-gritty into the sort of Taoist themes and the loose translation, there's so many different translations of the Tao Te Ching, and we could nerd out on that for hours, but we won't get into that. So, if you don't understand this, you will get lost, right? If you're so attached to outcomes, if you aren't guided by your intuition, if you are closed off to the mind and you keep thinking through the same constructs that you have in the past, right? Then you will get lost, right? How often do we get stuck mentally? So, okay, if I'm feeling stuck, if I'm stuck on this goal-oriented type thinking, right, on this outcome-oriented type thinking, how can I step into this idea? So, it is the greatest secret. All right. So, if you're journaling, take a moment to wrap that up, and we'll sort of step into the meditation and then a little bit of a flow. So make any adjustments to your space that you might need. This microphone does not want to cooperate with me today. So yes, make any changes to your space that you might need. Grab a meditation cushion or find something to support your back. Again, I do have a video. It's the first video you'll find on my channel on how to sit in meditation. So if you're struggling with that, please visit me there. So allow the shoulders to drop down and the chin to become very level. And kind of sticking with the same theme that we had yesterday, we're going to embody openness. Openness of the mind, openness of this moment, right? Allowing this situation to be an opportunity, right? So the eyes are going to fall closed whenever it feels natural to you. And we'll just start as we always do by tapping into the breath. Audible inhale and an audible exhale. Just tapping into the breath. If you're just now joining us, we're just settling into a meditation. Not focused on gaining, not focused on any outcome. This is a moment to just be, to just breathe. For the sake of itself. And allow each breath to become more natural, softer, effortless. And we'll just sit with this question. What does it look like, feel like, to be open in the body? What does openness, spaciousness feel like in the body? See if you can notice, if you can feel the body as a whole. Just being, just breathing. And for a moment, we'll sit with this idea. What does it look like, feel like to be open in the mind? Feeling open. What does that look like, feel like to you? Free from concepts, free from structure of the mind, previous thoughts. What does it look like to be open to every situation as it arises? How does that feel mentally? What would it look like, feel like to be able to trust your intuition in every moment? To have a deeper connection with your inner voice without questioning. You're just simply guided by. What would it feel like to embody trust in your intuition? And we'll sort of let these concepts fade, this idea fade away, and take a moment to just be, just breathe. Not now, but in a moment, I'll begin to count backwards from 5. And not now, but the moment that I reach 1, your eyes will very gently blink open. You'll feel awake and aware, awake and aware. And I count 5, noticing the body, feeling open through the body. 4, noticing the mind, clear and open. 3, take a deep breath in, sip at the top. 2, a very audible exhale. And 1, the eyes blink open, feeling awake and aware, awake and aware, awake and aware. Feel energy coming back into the body. Deep breaths. And before we start to move into our yoga flow, notice where you are, your environment, this moment. Notice color, light, texture. Just enjoying being present. Checking in once more with the body. Notice if you feel any different in the body than when you first began. Noticing the clarity, the state of mind. From here, we'll just get some gentle movement in through the spine. A little yoga flow that you can do from anywhere. Coordinating just like we did yesterday, breath and movement. Circular motion through the spine. Notice as you move the spine, right, the interconnectedness of the body, feeling through the hips, feeling through the shoulders. And being guided by that intuition, right? My voice is secondary to your inner voice, guiding the movement, guiding the breath. See if you can make the movement more dynamic by bringing in the shoulders, bringing in the hips. Bigger movement through the shoulders, feeling the thighs, right, moving through those hip joints, through those ball and socket joints. Let's get some upper body movement. So we're gonna do, the shoulders are gonna come up and down, just like little arcs here. The chest comes out, is open and back, and then contract. Inhaling, exhaling. Get some circular motion maybe. Let's get some bigger arm movements here. Breathing up and down. Inhale, the arms rise. My plant is in the way. And exhale down. Inhale, rise. Exhale down. Rolling out the wrist. Switching directions. Movement into the body, flow back into the body, right? Less resistance. Let's give a big stretch in overhead. And an audible exhale out. Interlace the hands behind you. Open through the chest, lift the chin. And release. Shake out the hands. Let's get a little bit of some lower body here. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest. Give it a little bit of squeeze here. Bring the hands up behind your seat. We're going to rock the knees side to side. This is some very gentle movement today. We're not going to get too into a yoga flow today. Just bringing movement into the body. Stretching the feet out in front of you, shaking it out, tapping the feet together like so. Knocking the feet together, this is a little bit of a qigong movement to shake up some stagnant energy. We'll lift up, just a little forward fold here. Letting the head drop, hang down. This too, right, is going to be good for the heart. We're letting everything, when we bend over like this, everything sort of slows down, the breath, the heart rate, everything slow down. Letting gravity do the work. Slowly rise up from the base of the spine. Bring the knees in once more. Give it a little bit of a squeeze. Still breathing. Roll out anywhere. Close the eyes. Feel into the body. Take any other movements that you need before carrying on with your day. All right. So, it is my hope for you today that you are able to embody, right, a traveler with no destination, open to discovery, open to being guided by your intuition, free from previous concepts, previous restraints of the mind, and that you see this present moment, all situations with full of potential and possibility. My boyfriend always says that Monday is the day with the most opportunity, and I think that really fit in with today's theme, okay? Everything is your teacher. Everyone is your teacher. This moment is your teacher. Stop worrying about the outcome, stop worrying about the goal, and allow yourself to be guided and embodied in this moment. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for joining me on Instagram, those of you who did. And I will be back here tomorrow as well. We'll probably do more of a deeper movement practice tomorrow, so be prepared for that. Still bring your journal, still be prepared for a little chat and some meditation, but tomorrow's going to be a little more body-centric, body-focused, okay? So 10 a.m. Mountain Standard if you're on Instagram. I'll be live on YouTube. We might go live on Instagram again today. We'll see how I feel, kind of just letting myself be guided by my intuition on these things. So roughly 10 a.m. All right, lots of love, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day.